This week on Granite State Challenge, the team from Bow High School takes on the team from Mascoma Valley Regional High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, the New Hampshire Lottery, D.F. Richard Energy, Cognia, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Granite State Challenge. We're making our way through the latter half of the first round of this year's tournament. Several teams have already made their way into the second round, and we've got two teams here this week hoping to follow suit. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the team from Bow High School. They are led by senior captain Alessandra, who is starring in a lip sync number. Tell us about it.
Yes, my Nordic team has decided to do a recreation of Lay All Your Love on Me from Mamma Mia. And I star as Sophie with my co-star Teddy, who's also here, starring as Sky.
Okay, is that a big part? Do you have a big part?
Yes, we're the leads.
Oh,
Co-leads.
well, I hope you win. All right, she is joined by Logan. Logan is also a senior, and when he was in fourth grade, he was in the spelling bee, but fell just a bit short. What happened?
Yeah, so my little fourth grade self did not understand that you were allowed to ask for definitions, and my teacher threw me a curveball. My word was chord, C-H-O-R-D, and I didn't know that existed, so I lost.
You didn't know that musical chords existed.
That's right.
Now, how did fifth grade go?
I won the grade spelling
Well,
bee,
see,
so
there
came
you
back
go.
strong.
You come back. Everyone loves a comeback story. All right, Logan is joined by senior Emily, who was once told by a 5-year-old that you could, quote, take out a whole village. Explain the context of that.
Yes, so I teach karate to small children, and I showed this little 5-year-old how to throw a punch, and he thought it was absolutely mind-blowing, and basically, I guess I'm Godzilla now.
Yeah,
so.
You could take out a whole village with that punch. All right, and Emily is joined by Theodore, also a senior. Theodore, name of a chipmunk, but you are also a chipmunk's guardian angel? Tell us.
That is true. I rescued a baby chipmunk whom we named Brittany after the Chipettes from Alvin and the Chipmunk.
Nice. And how is Brittany doing?
She's doing well. She lives on St. Paul's campus and eats acorns.
All right, sounds like a great life. All right, the alternates for the teams are seniors Daniel and Becky. The team is coached by Michelle Lavaz, and they are the team from Bow High School. All right, and facing off against Bow this week is the team from Mascoma Valley Regional High School. They are led by senior captain Gage, who, as a Granite State Challenge contestant, right, loves what?
Trivia.
Trivia, of course. So where does this love of trivia come from?
In middle school, I started watching Jeopardy, and as I got more questions right over time, I decided that trivia was right for me, and I love it.
All right, well, you're in the right place for that. Maybe you should be on Jeopardy someday.
Maybe one day.
All right. He is joined by Logan, and Logan is also a senior and does something that I think is super cool. Plays what instrument?
The drum set.
The drum set. So a little rock, a little jazz?
Mix of both.
Yeah, how long have you been playing?
Since middle school.
All right, you in a band yet, a rock band yet?
No, not officially, but
All right.
I am in my school's bands.
Okay,
so.
there you go. Is it an electronic set or a real drum set?
It's a real drum
Does
set.
it bother your parents with all that noise?
Yes, it does.
I bet it does. All right, Logan is joined by senior Liam, whose favorite subject is one of mine as well. What is it?
Geography.
Okay, and where did the love of geography come from?
So ever since I was a little kid, I always liked looking at atlases and stuff. And I went to the geography bee in middle school.
Nice.
Pretty well with that.
How'd you do?
Got kind of middle of the pack in the state championships, but.
All right. Hope to
nice
put some of that
time.
geographic novel to use with some knowledge to use by traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, and Liam is joined by junior Lydia, whose favorite subject is
math.
Math. Why math?
I like being able to solve the problem and have a real answer and find it immediately.
That's right. Yeah, it feels good to solve a problem sometime. And you're gonna plan on studying math, you think?
Probably. I
All right.
like it and I'm good at it, so why not?
Yeah, why not, right? All right, the team is coached by John Sweetland, and they are the team from Mascoma Valley Regional High School. All right, one more introduction to you, and that is, of course, our judge. Back with us again is Ann Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are out of the way. Go ahead and grab those signaling devices because we are going to play Granite State Challenge. In round one, we do 10-point toss-up questions. So, Bo and Mascoma, good luck. Here we go. This comedy troupe, best known for slapstick humor, got its start in vaudeville in the 1920s. The group featured Mo Howard, Larry Fine, Curly Howard, and occasionally Shemp Howard. Emily of Bo.
The Three Stooges.
Yes. This 1803 Supreme Court case established the principle of judicial review, allowing courts to strike down laws found to be in violation of the U.S. Constitution. Alessandra of Bo.
Marbury versus Madison.
Correct. Many economists feel that this act that raised tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods and was signed into law in 1930 by President Herbert Hoover worsened the effects of the Depression. Emily of Bo.
The Embargo Act.
Sorry, no. Mascoma? It is the Smoot-Hawley Tariff. All right, teams. Cassius Clay won his first World Heavyweight Championship in 1964 in a bout against Sonny Liston. The two boxers met again in 1965 in Lewiston, Maine, where he won with a knockout in the first round. By this time, he had changed his name to this. Logan of Bo.
Ali.
Yes, Muhammad Ali. In this 1966 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that an individual must be informed of their rights before questioning by the police. Liam of Mascoma.
Miranda rights.
That is correct. In what novel will you find the superstate of Oceania, the thought police, and the characters Winston Smith and Julia? Emily of Bo.
1984.
That's right. Years ago, you might have taken your temperature with a glass thermometer filled with this metal, which is liquid at room temperature. Logan of Mascoma.
Mercury.
Yes. On June 6, 1944, the D-Day invasion began when Allied forces landed on the beaches in this location in France. Emily of Bo.
Normandy.
Yes. In 1521, this German Catholic priest was declared a notorious heretic, and his writings were banned by the Edict of Worms. Logan of Bo.
Martin Luther.
Yes. This English actor, known for his portrayals of Magneto in the X-Men films and Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, is also regarded as one of the premier Shakespearean actors. Gage of Mascoma.
Ian McKellen.
He's the one. This could be an omnivorous mammal, a television network, or the surname of an actor from Back to the Future. Logan of Bo.
Fox.
Yes. After serving as New Hampshire's first elected female governor, this politician became New Hampshire's first female U.S. Senator. Liam of Mascoma.
Jean Shaheen.
Yes. In 1598, Henry IV of France issued this law allowing a measure of religious liberty to Protestant French Huguenots. Logan of Bo.
The Edict of Nantes.
That is right. What does salesman Gregor Samsa become in the 1915 novella Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka? Logan of Bo.
An insect.
Yes. Founded in 1785, this is the first university in the United States with a state charter. The school's mascot is a bulldog. Logan again of Bo.
Yale.
Sorry, no. Mascoma. Logan of Mascoma.
Brown.
Sorry, no. It's the University of Georgia. All right, teams, a math question for you. You have pencil and paper if you want. What is the area of a rectangle that is 5 inches long and 9 inches wide? Lydia of Mascoma.
45.
Yes, 45 square inches. In 1993, Kim Campbell became the first and to date only female prime minister of this country. She only served for less than 6 months and in defeat said, "Gee, I'm glad I didn't sell my car." Logan of Bo.
India.
Sorry, no. Mascoma? Gage?
Canada.
That's right. All right, teams, take a look at your monitor for the next question. In 1815, forces led by this future president defeated the British in the Battle of New Orleans during the War of 1812? Alessandra of Bow.
Jackson.
Yes, correct. This architect, who moved from Shanghai to the United States in 1935, designed the John F. Kennedy Library in Massachusetts, the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong, the Dallas City Hall, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Gage of Mascoma.
I am Pei.
Correct. All right, teams, that is the sound that ends round one in a great first round. Both teams out to a quick start, but is Bo in the lead by a score of 100 to 70. All right, teams, great start. We're going to go into round two, which is our 3 strikes and you're out round. In this round, each team gets 10 questions. We go right down the line. Each player gets a question. Give you 10 points for each one, a bonus of 10 if you get them all right. And as a reminder, there's no talking during this round, and we'll continue until 3 strikes and you're out, or until you answer all of the questions. Each team has 3 passes, and as a reminder, something in the previous question will be the inspiration for the next question. So, Bo, Alessandra, your question. Nathaniel Hawthorne's novel, The House of the Seven Gables, is set in this Massachusetts city.
Boston.
Salem. Logan. Salem, Massachusetts is the home to these trials which began in 1692.
Salem witch trials.
Yes. Emily. This woman is the only person convicted of witchcraft in what is now New Hampshire.
Goody Cole.
Correct. Theodore. In the nursery rhyme Old King Cole, how many fiddlers did the king call for?
12.
He called for 3. Alessandra. Actor Cole Sprouse played Cody Martin on the Disney series The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Jughead Jones in this series.
Riverdale.
Correct. Logan. The Suite, composed by Gustav Holst between 1913 and 1917, is out of this world.
Space.
It's close. The Suite is called The Planets, and that is your 3rd strike, so that ends your 3 strikes and you're out round. All right, Mascoma, we turn our attention to you. Same drill. So we'll start with Gage. This is your question. This tiny insect is the state butterfly of New Hampshire.
Monarch.
Sorry, it is the Carner blue butterfly. Logan, the theme song of this children's show, hosted by LeVar Burton, is Butterfly in the Sky.
Reading Rainbow?
Correct. Liam, LeVar Burton played Geordie LaForge in this science fiction series.
Star Trek?
I need you to be more specific. Sorry, there were many Star Treks. We needed Star Trek The Next Generation specifically. Lydia, this character in the original Star Trek series was half human and half Vulcan and was played by Leonard Nimoy.
Pass.
All right, pass to Gage.
Spock.
Spock is right. Logan, vulcanization is a process that hardens this substance.
Pass.
All right, pass to Liam.
Igneous rock?
Sorry, it is rubber. And that is your 3rd strike, so that ends your 3 strikes rounds. All right, teams, at this time, I'd like to invite the alternates up to join their teams for our 60-second round. In the 60-second round, each team gets 10 questions in a category, and you guys can work as a team, and I will take the captain's answer as the team answer. And the team trailing gets to go first. In Mascoma, that will be you. And so, Gage, you and your team can choose from the following 3 categories. No ifs or ands, but there is a but. Girl power, or no place like home.
Any preferences? Okay. No place like home.
No
please.
place like home it will be. Okay, guys, the answers to the following will be New Hampshire, towns, or cities. Okay, so each one's a New Hampshire town and cities. Gage, again, I'll take your answer as team answer. 60 seconds, start the clock. What you take to get clean, or a town in Grafton County?
Bath. Bath.
Correct. This is both the capital of Germany and a city on the Androscoggin River.
Berlin.
Yes, town in Rockingham County and an island country that's part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Greenland.
Yes, small town in Grafton County and a fruit used to make a breakfast juice.
Orange.
Yes, type of bread you might use for a pastrami sandwich or a coastal New Hampshire town.
Rye.
Yes, something you might eat at lunch, a British Earl or a town in Carroll County.
Sandwich.
Correct. This could be a biblical city on the West Bank or a little town in Grafton County.
Bethlehem.
Correct. Salts you add to a bath to relieve muscle aches or a town in Merrimack County.
Epsom.
Yes. This could be a Cheeto eating snack mascot or a town in Rockingham County.
Oh, yeah. Chester.
Yes. This could be the surname of a Confederate general or a small town near Durham, New Hampshire. Sorry, didn't quite get that in time, but that was a great round. Was it 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 on your 60-second round. Well done, Mascoma. We turn attention to Bo and Alessandra. You and your team can choose from our remaining categories, no ifs and but there is a but, or girl power.
I think either one.
Alessandra?
Yeah, go with one you're.
No ifs or ands, but there is a but.
Okay, no ifs or ands, but there is a but. The answers to all of the following will include the letters B-U-T or B-U-T-T in that order. All right, 60 seconds, start the clock. Viceroys and monarchs are both types of this insect.
Butterfly.
Yes, this city located in Montana was once a mining town.
Ute.
Yes, this gullible character in South Park is named for something you might spread on bread.
Butter.
Think about that,
Butters.
judges. Yeah, okay, we'll give you that. He has been mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and U.S. Secretary of Transportation.
Buttigieg.
Yes, someone might tell you to do this to your lips to keep quiet.
Button.
Yes, made primarily with butter and brown sugar. This can be a candy, a topping, or a pudding.
Butterscotch.
Yes, you will find flying ones of these in many Gothic cathedrals.
Buttress.
Yes, this household servant is often a suspect in fictional.
Butler.
Yes, this is a small yellow flower or a character in a Gilbert and Sullivan operetta.
Buttercup.
Yes, in a debate, this is an answer to an argument.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal is right. Is that a 10 out of 10? That is a 10 out of 10 on your 60-second round. Great job, both teams. All right, alternates, you can go ahead and take your seats as we roll into our fourth and final round. In round 4, we will pick back up with our toss-up questions, but we're going to double the point value to 20 points. We'll also be deducting 20 points for incorrect responses. So, Bo and Mascoma, a lot to play for in a tight game. Good luck, and here we go. This could be something you eat or a tool used to play a percussive instrument. Emily of Bo.
Drumstick.
Yes. The Skye Bridge connects the Isle of Skye, the largest island in the Inner Hebrides, to the mainland of this country. It connects to Scotland. This novelist's 1943 work, The Fountainhead, featured architect Howard Rourke, who refused to compromise his work to the expectations of the architectural establishment. And that was written by Ayn Rand. All right, teams, our next question is our Unitil Power question. It's coming to you on your monitors. It's worth double the points, so a 40-point toss-up question. Take a look.
The Asgardian god, Thor, carries this hammer that was forged in the heart of a dying star.
Alessandra of Bo.
Mjolnir.
That is correct, and thank you for not making me pronounce that. This man was the president of Cuba from 1940 to 1944 and the U.S.-backed military dictator from 1952 to 1959. Liam of Mascoma?
Fidel Castro.
Sorry, no. Just before him was Fulgencio Batista. A seesaw is an example of this type of simple machine which is made up of a rigid beam and a fulcrum. Logan of Bo?
Level.
Sorry, is not a level. Mascoma. Gage.
Lever.
Lever, yes. In 1999, the American Film Institute named Audrey Hepburn as the third greatest female screen legend, behind only Katharine Hepburn and Bette Davis. Hepburn is perhaps best known for playing this character in the 1961 movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. She played Holly Golightly. This could be a Spice, one of the Spice Girls, or the first name of one of the castaways on Gilligan's Island. Alessandra of Bo?
Ginger.
That's right. 160.9 miles of this 2,180 plus mile long public footpath that runs from Maine to Georgia passes through New Hampshire. Liam of Mascoma.
Appalachian Trail.
Correct. In 1844, a mob killed this founder of the Church of Latter-day Saints and his brother Hiram at the jail in Carthage, Illinois. Logan of Bo.
Joseph Smith.
Yes. On October 14th, 1947, this test pilot became the first person to exceed the speed of sound in a plane named Glamorous Glennis for his wife. Liam of Mascoma.
Chuck Yeager.
Yes. Actor Lawrence Fishburne played Cowboy Curtis in the children's television series Pee-wee's Playhouse and this character in the Matrix series of movies. Gage of Mascoma.
Morpheus?
Yes. All right, teams, the next question is a science question coming at you on your monitors. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Leslie from the New Hampshire Science Teachers Association, and I have a science question for you. In 1983, Sally Ride became the first American woman to travel to space. In 1984, this woman became the second U.S. woman in space when she was a mission specialist on the maiden voyage of the Discovery. She died in 1986 when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded.
Emily of Bo.
Krista McAuliffe.
Sorry, no. Mascoma? It was Judith Resnick was the astronaut we were looking for. Ray Manzarek, keyboard player for the band The Doors, has said that the band would never have existed if this Beat author had never written the 1959 book On the Road. Gage of Mascoma.
Kerouac.
Yes. This Texas city was the setting for a primetime soap opera about oilman J.R. Ewing and his family. Emily of Bo.
Dallas.
That is correct. In 1921, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis was named the first commissioner of this sport, where he served until his death in 1944. Logan of Bo.
Baseball.
Yes. In 1974, the Symbionese Liberation Army kidnapped this granddaughter of newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst in Berkeley, California. Theodore of Bo.
Joan Beneath.
Sorry, no. Mascoma? It is Patty Hearst. In 1889, this battleship exploded and sank in Havana Harbor in Cuba, killing 274 and leading the U.S. to declare war on Spain. The cause was attributed to a submerged mine, but later research indicates the explosion may have been caused by a fire in the coal bunker. Gage of Mascoma.
USS Maine.
That is right. All right, teams, you have pencil and paper there in case you need it. What letter comes next in this sequence? A, D, G, J, M. Logan of Bo?
P.
That's right. Italian director Sergio Leone is known for films like A Fistful of Dollars, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West. He is considered the creator of this genre of movies with a pasta-inspired name. Gage of Mascoma.
Spaghetti Westerns.
That is right. At the 1972 Summer Olympic Games in Munich, Germany, this U.S. swimmer won the gold medal and broke the world record in each of the 7 events he entered. Mark Spitz. In 1901, this financier merged the Carnegie Steel Company, the Federal Steel Company, and the National Steel Company into U.S. Steel. Gage of Mascoma.
J.P. Morgan.
That is right. Children's author and illustrator Ian Falconer is probably best known for creating this porcine character. He created Olivia. In 1820, 2 states were admitted to the United States. One was admitted as a slave state, and one was admitted as a free state. Name the 2 states. Liam of Mascoma.
Missouri and Maine.
That is correct. All right, teams, the next question is a picture question. Take a look. This first Jewish member of the U.S. Supreme Court had a university in Waltham, Massachusetts, named for him? Emily of Bow.
Brandeis.
Brandeis is right. On June 6, 1963, Russian engineer Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to do this. Gage of Mascoma.
Go to space.
That is correct. All right, we're going to skip the next question. This 16th century Flemish cartographer is known for his geographical map, which flattened the globe into a two-dimensional map. Logan of Bow.
Mercator.
Mercator is right, and with that, I believe Bo has the victory by a score of 380 to 360. My, nothing like coming down to the very last question for a victory. Great win, Bo. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Mascoma, it came down to the wire. Tough loss, but you played against a good team. You should be very proud of yourselves. We had fun having you. Hope you guys had fun being here. And we hope you had fun as well. We hope that you join us next week for our next game. And congratulations again to Bo, who will go on and take Plymouth in the next round. And as I like to say at the end of each episode, I learned a lot, and I hope you did as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, the New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, Cognia, HRCU, and viewers like you. Thank you.